We told you before in the last segment about a congressman who broke rank and file and early on decided to see Donald Trump as the best of the choices of the Republican bunch. That's when all the candidates are still in the race. But far more influential in the scheme of things, especially to the Republican base, the conservative base, the religious base, was the backing of this next gentleman, Jerry Falwell Jr., Liberty University president. And at a time when he committed to Donald Trump, it was very influential, winning over the so-called religious voter and those who had their doubts about Mr. Trump. Jerry Falwell Jr. with us right now. Jerry, very good to see you.
Good to be here, Neil.
You took a lot of heat for that.
I did.
Particularly, we were talking about in social media. Why did you do it at the time you did it?
There's two things. One, at that time, Mr. Trump, he'd been a friend for years, but he was still a New York businessman, and he really didn't have a position on many of the political issues. But two things really impressed me. One is he was so personable. He loved people so much. Everybody and anybody. And he was very smart. So I concluded that if he loves people, all American people, and he's very intelligent and shrewd, which I think he is, he'll end up taking the right position on the issues. So I took a gamble, and I'm proud to say that he has come down on the right side of just about every issue.
But it surprised me at the time, because I think I had mentioned in one of your first interviews when you did this that you had Ted Cruz, who had spoken to Falwell loyalists and supporters in the university.
He announced his campaign at Liberty.
And launched it at Liberty. Yeah. And you didn't, and this is when the race was still early. And you didn't go to him. Why not?
I just didn't think he could win against Hillary. I just thought Donald Trump was the one that had the charisma and the name recognition, and that's important in today's world.
So you were pragmatic as well as looking at the religious side.
You have to be. We're not choosing a pastor-in-chief. We're choosing a president of the United States. If you had a young child who was deathly ill, you'd want to choose the best doctor, whether the doctor shared your faith or not. And I think the same thing's true.
Did that rankle some at Liberty University, though, of maybe more of an exclusively religious bent who maybe might not be as pragmatic?
I don't know, not so much at Liberty, but evangelicals across the country who were strong Cruz supporters. I had to block a lot of folks on Twitter, but it was just, I think once they realized that, maybe sometimes you have to be pragmatic. You have to choose the one who has the best chance of winning and who is closest to your views. In 1860, most Americans, the average American, the only contact they had with the federal government was the post office. We didn't get from there to the strong central government, in one fell swoop. It was incremental, and we're not going to fix it in one fell swoop. So I believe pragmatism is important, and I think it's nothing wrong for a Christian to be pragmatic.
What do you think your dad would be saying?
I think he'd be saying, go Trump.
All right. Thank you, Jerry Falwell Jr.